And what about judges and attorneys? Let's talk about the judges and attorneys. I had to ask Google, have judges been arrested? Because when you were asking them before, they were like, no, judges have not been arrested. No, attorneys have not been arrested. But we know they have. And we know that court officials left by the tens of thousands. The Department of Justice let go tens of thousands of people last year and 70% of the workforce this year. Why? Because the government is going to cease to exist. So I looked up, have judges been arrested? Because remember, when the Supreme Court of the United States, SCOTUS, overturned the Chevron doctrine, which had given the government unlimited powers, when they overturned that doctrine, they said that the United States Incorporated was operating unlawfully and treasonously. And they said that all judges that allowed for this to happen also committed treason. Any judges that knew of a judges that allowed this to happen committed misprision of treason. So of course they've been arrested. Yes, when you Google it now, AI says judges have been arrested with recent high-profile cases involving federal charges for obstruction and misconduct. On April 25th, 2025, Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan was arrested by the FBI for allegedly aiding a migrant and evading immigration officials, while former New Mexico Judge Jose Cano was also arrested on charges of tampering with evidence. Those are only two. Here are key details regarding the arrest of judges. Recent arrest, 2025. Judge Hannah Dugan was charged with 2 federal crimes: concealing an individual from arrest and obstructing of federal proceedings after allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant escape ICE agents. Didn't they tell you ICE is working for Americans? Because a lot of the people that were here unlawfully, not just illegally, but unlawfully. They weren't even supposed to be here. But judges were aiding and abetting and them allowing to stay here, even the ones that were trafficking children and drugs and laundering money. Other examples: former New Mexico Magistrate Judge Jose Cano and his wife were arrested for allegedly harboring an undocumented immigrant with gang ties and tampering with evidence. Other judicial crimes: historically, multiple judges have been arrested, convicted, or impeached for various crimes, including bribery, extortion, and expose assault. Federal judge convictions: former United States District Judge Samuel Kent became the first federal judge to plead guilty to SEX crimes, obstruction of justice, in 2009. They go on to say, while rare, a judge's immunity does not extend to criminal acts, and they are subject to arrest if suspension or suspected of violating the laws. If you go to resignation.info, and we're not going to go to that now because you can look it up, you'll see judges, attorneys, CEOs, bank administrators, presidents, prime ministers from all over the world, tens of thousands that have been let go, either forced to resign or forced to take early retirement, or they somehow came up unalived. Thank you so much for the Cash App blessing, for the gift. Thank you, Chief Mac. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ashanti and Najee. God bless you. Have a smile on your family. Mass arrests have indeed happened. Thank you, Sister Janine. I appreciate you. That's our chat moderator. Absolutely. Mainstream media might not tell you this, but it is over. How can you prepare? What should you do? Stay out the way. Like Sister Keisha says right here, stay out of ICE's way, stay out the way. Don't be in big crowds. Just mind your business, because the deep state, the cabal. Remember President Trump said, I will totally obliterate the deep state. He even said that when Biden was the so-called president. He would talk on his social media all the time and say, I'm going to totally obliterate the deep state. And when you obliterate the deep state, the United States Incorporated, whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati, the Masonic Order, the Freemasons, they're all the same thing. Skull and Bones, Secret Society, Boule. When you dismantle them, the cabal, deep state, they might try to attack back. That's why they did the whole No Kings rally. That's why they're protesting against ICE. They know that they've been put on ice, frozen. This is why President Trump sent ICE agents to the airports to help TSA and other agents, because a lot of people trying to run out of here. They're trying to flee. They're trying to escape. The airport is not just a place to fly out and go out of the United States. There are also portals, airports, portals through which they're trying to escape. Through the portals, through the water ports, in the air, in the water, and on land. National Guard been sent on the land. They're trying to run. Bridges have been closed. We reported on that all over the country. Going into and out of Canada, been closed. Some report that some bridges in California, different places all over the country, bridges on the land closed. Airports closed, flights canceled, flights grounded. Ports and the water closed. All these portals and ports of entry closed because we're ending or closing maritime law, admiralty law, but also closing off portals through which these entities were coming in and going out because their time is up. So stay out of the way. What should you do? My son, Dex Lattimore, is an economist. He said, always have some cash on hand, because you never know if the bank goes on a bank holiday, if it freezes. Because I don't know if you all know this. There'll be times you'll try to go into banking, do mobile banking, and they'll say, we're sorry, your money's not available. Give us, come back, give us some time. You can come back. Well, we can't afford that to happen if we need gas or you need food, or the deep state might try to freeze your money for a while. And we know, we've heard that it's going to be, the money's mirrored on a quantum financial system or on a benevolent system, but we can't afford to have our money frozen. So my son, who's an economist, said, always have some cash on hand, put the rest, leave some in the bank to pay off the bills, have some on hand in case you got to make a decision. And because everything is collapsing, the stock market's collapsing, you're going to see digital assets go down. Right now, gold and silver has gone down some. You might want to buy some of these assets. And you just always need to be safe just in case. The rest, after you save something to keep in the bank, pay your bills, have cash on hand, use some to buy food, fill up your tank, get some water, whatever, however you know, or your tribe tells you to prepare. Do that. And then whatever you can afford to invest with, use that and invest it. And whatever you think is worthy. Foreign currencies, silver and gold, copper. Thank you so much for the Cash App gift, Joelle. I appreciate you. Appreciate you so very much. I am very, very grateful. You all don't have to do that, and I'm so appreciative.